Yo.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Y'all know what it is. State of the art in the building.
You already know. Talk your shit. What's up?
I know I sound like shit right now. I just want to put that out there. I know I sound pretty terrible, but I actually do not feel as bad as I sound.
This nigga got the vid.
And I had, yeah, please. I actually got, I felt the, you know when you feel the cold coming?
Oh, that happened.
I felt it coming from Saturday, from Thursday. So and if anybody didn't know, my birthday, what is this? Earth Strong? My Earth Strong Day, is that what they call it? I don't know, Jamaicans call it that, I think. It must be a dread thing. I've never heard anybody else but a Caribbean person say it. But yeah, but it was my birthday Saturday. So as soon as I felt the cold twinge, right, there on Thursday night, hit the elderberry.
OD. You gotta start treating yourself OD.
Hit the elderberry to the Baja. I took one big tablespoon, and I took one in the morning, one in the night. And what I would do is throughout the day, periodically, I had these little like emergency, like my mom does these like organic emergency packets. So I had 3 of them. So I'd pour them in a small cup of water, down it, and that's in between shots too. So that also managed my drunk while simultaneously keeping me healthy. You know what I mean? So what I did was I just managed the symptoms and completely pretended I wasn't sick, and I felt better.
I was sick the week before. I was sick, like, I got sick on Friday. Friday, I started feeling like a little scrub, like, fuck. You know, there's like a little bit of denial where you
that
turn
moment,
sick these days.
That moment, nah.
Yo, by Sunday, I was sick as hell, but by then, I just started, like, medicating myself up. Monday, the next, because I didn't eat for, I didn't really eat Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. But by Monday, I was good. I'm like, I'm good. I went to go get tested. I'm like, you know what? Let me just stay away from everybody. I went to go get tested. I was Gucci.
Nah, man. When I went and got tested, I didn't even know that my school, like where I work, gives tests. So they were just like, you on Fridays, you just get a test. I was like, oh, perfect. Shit, I need to get tested anyway. So Thursday, I felt it. Friday, I got tested. Saturday, I got my results. And it was, I was negative. So I was like, all right, so it's not the vid.
I feel like mad people sick right now, though. But, the weather's transitioning.
Yeah.
People ain't been sick in a year.
Exactly.
Everybody's excited to be outside.
So I went to Komodo rooftop.
Yeah, man.
Saturday night. I got to give it, Saturday afternoon, I guess, into the night. I got to give it to them. I definitely enjoyed myself. Anyone that saw me out there, it wasn't me. I promise you it was not me.
This nigga was being his...
No, I was... I was enjoying myself, man. I enjoyed I haven't had this much fun in so long. Like, I remember, like, Sunday...
Nah, it's been a minute.
Bro, Saturday, we go out, whatever. You know what I mean? There's a group of girls at the next table. Yeah. They doing their thing. And they were all very pretty women.
Everybody was just
it was just like no, and there was no, like, you know what I liked about it? There was no stushness amongst talking to them. Like, they didn't feel like we was trying to bag because we wasn't, we didn't feel like, you know what I mean?
I feel like people were just like, everybody's just excited to be out.
Yeah.
It's been a long winter. It's been a long ass year.
Yeah, that's true.
So everybody we spoke to in that night, the promoted, it was just all jokes.
It was just happy to be around humans. It was all love. And I'm not gonna lie, my hair lady laid my shit, got the Lord Jesus perm on. I'm not gonna front, like, my friend told me, he was like, watch the power of the curly dread. It's quite potent. I'm not gonna lie to you. The curly dread, it just gets the onlookers, you know what I mean? So I gotta be careful with that, I'm a high value man now, so I gotta move accordingly. You know what I mean? I can't be moving like this no more. I gotta move on pace. You know what I mean?
All right, man.
We got a method. So but yeah, Sunday there was no method to that. I got up. First of all, I put on the most impromptu, flyest outfit I have ever.
Reggie gonna give himself a compliment.
Nah, bro. Nope. I'm gonna get my own flowers today, my nigga. I looked at myself.
He was picking up flowers on his way here.
Bro.
You did your thing, though.
Bro, I took a picture and I was like, that's me? I was like, yo. I literally looked at the picture. I said, this nigga's cute. Like, who is this man? Nah, man.
Nigga left his own comment.
Bro, you know, my outfit was so smooth. I sat like this Or everywhere I went.
Which night you talking about?
Well, this was Sunday, cause Saturday was more of like my that was like my main outfit, and Sunday I didn't know what I was doing.
You just push it together.
I just said whatever, but
Those
that
be the
one,
best, though.
I
Those
crushed
be the
it.
Best. You be like, hold up, I didn't even know this shit went together like this.
Nigga, I had the ASAP Ferg white turtleneck on. I was feeling myself. I'll say that.
Nah, man, that's good.
Yeah, man.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, man.
Earth strong.
I mean, I listen, man. Like I said,
how does it feel to be
33? It's okay.
33.
33.
Jesus here and his Jesus with his Jesus hair.
Yeah, man. Look, you gotta remember, 33 was the year he died, but and so he came back. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Deeper, darker. Now, 30. You know, I read something on the way here it was kind of ironic to me because it said they said what is the happiest time by stats or by statistics, what is the happiest time in an adult's life? And they said it usually people say 30s, and it's because
bro, once I hit 30, I was so over fucking 20s. I mean, we already had this conversation.
Yeah.
I was over that shit. I was like, all right, I've been fucking up.
Yeah, yo, I am tired of making mistakes. Bro, how many L's am I gonna take?
That was that. I'm like, I'm not gonna be fucking up the way I did it.
My 20s.
So that was my mindset, because I was like, you know what? I've learned enough from fucking up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take all them lessons right now and turn them shits to some W's.
Bro,
the L's is just too much.
Bro, it was one of those things. So for me, it was like when I read that, I was just like, I do feel, because even it's funny because in ways I have less. I have more than I ever did in general. But in ways, in terms of time and ability and certain things, I have less than I had before. But I'm way more thankful for what I do have. Yeah. Like I have fortunately for me, the wash hasn't set in yet. You know what I mean? So I haven't had any physical ailments that are going for really bad, like a bum knee, or people have well, actually, I did just catch heartburn for the first time ever.
Acid reflux.
Actually, yes.
I was about to be like,
bro, all Sunday I was suffering.
I'm like,
because I kept trying to drink, and everywhere I drank, there was this. It was I had hiccups.
Yeah, man.
It was the worst.
I seen somebody go through that. When she texted me, I was like, bro, you got acid reflux.
I was like, bro, this is ghetto.
You got to go get some Tums, nigga.
Ew. I haven't heard of Tums since you said it. It lived in years. I don't know nobody that takes Tums.
The only reason I know this is because I went to Miami, and with the group of people I was with, one of the nigga kept on catching heartburn every party we went to.
Bro.
And he'll be just running through CVS holding his chest. I'm like, yo, what's up with your man?
Funny. Him holding his chest is hilarious.
Just running through CVS every single night this was happening. I'm like, yo, what's up with your man?
Nah, man, that's
so that's how I knew that. I was like, yo, go get some Tums.
And I was trying to tough it out. And what was happening was when you go, so we just decided we're gonna go outside. Yeah. We didn't go. We had 2 places on the list, and then we said fuck it, and then we hit one place in Queens. That shit was whack. We went to Suede. It was not turned up like we wanted to. Then we went to Soko, ran into some friends. Jess and them, you know what I mean? Shouts out to them. Everybody was eating.
Yo, Soko would be lit just every night now. That's just where people be going.
Bro, we went to Soko, then we went to 333, then we went to friggin' Jesus, this is a hit list. We really, you know what happened? It's that we're old now. We haven't been out, not old, but older. We haven't been outside in a while for real, like we used to. Cause I feel like what happened was towards the end of your 20s, a lot of us started stacking, seriously, not just working to work, but working with a purpose.
Planning your life.
You started doing that. So now it's when you get a little bit of leverage and you got a little something, you all right, well, it's time to go back outside a little bit. And then we were just but we don't know where to go. Yeah. So we just went to all the...
And COVID, has kind of, messed up a lot of going out things.
Yeah, of course.
If you have a party of this, you need, you can't just walk in anywhere anymore.
Bro, it's not even an option.
You gotta make sure everybody's temperature is appropriate.
Yeah,
least,
and then also...
At least in some places.
Also, a lot of times, a place isn't closed for real. It's just closed because, an employee got COVID, so now they got closed for a week.
So you gotta
so
catch
maybe that week you didn't catch, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that happening, so it was very, But I ended up, I hit up one of my friends that is literally always outside, and I was like, give me the spots.
They got the underground party.
The underground, the speakeasies.
All the speakeasies. Oh, the fucking.
Being like,
I'm like, yo, she be living in the 1920s, all
where
quarantine.
did you run into Future? What? Like, I'm like, what the hell?
Yo, all the speakeasies.
All this, yo.
I be telling people, yo, right now, you should, if you want to open up a business, just open up one of them shits.
I'm
man.
telling you, it's nasty in Brooklyn. It's nasty out there. They are not playing. Everybody outside.
Brooklyn feel like Atlanta light.
And the other thing is, everywhere we drove, weed smoke.
Yeah.
Everything smelled like
the new
weed,
New
bro.
York.
Everywhere we go, so it's like I'm just sitting there listening to all this. Hold up, it's not coming back. No, it didn't. Okay, I thought all it takes is one burp and then the hiccups come back and I'm over. I'm done. But yeah, like, so we just was going from place to place, and I had a conversation with a group of females, and I tried to hit them with my Kevin Samuels shit. I tried to hit them with but it wasn't hit them with. It was just I realized like it was right, so I said it, and I realized it made for an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I asked them, in all fairness, because these are all of them. I would say they all do fairly well for themselves. I would say I'd say all of them do fairly well for themselves.
Yeah.
Probably make more than me and you.
Yeah.
And when I asked one of them, I said, if you left men and women to make their own decisions, if you left them to work wherever they wanted to work, and there was no law discrimination, let's say somehow we could erase it, do you think women and men would still pick the same? And I just asked that question. I was like, and I wasn't trying to lead. I know what I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what the numbers say, but I just asked her directly.
Would they pick the same career paths?
Like, do you think that the way things are now, the fact that women are mostly, by and large, nurses, in medicine, teachers, do you think that they would still go work those jobs, or do you think they would, or do you think men would still go be scientists and factory workers, and like it's by and large men and engineers in those fields? And I was just wondering, do you think that is, because everyone would say it's discrimination? I think it's.
I would think so. I think they would generally kind of stick to a lot of those same fields.
I mean, having kids now and watching my son and my nephew run off the walls while my daughter is literally like, chill out, like relax. Like she's painting and she's like, y'all doing too much.
And they just
go, they could hit their head on the wall and never notice.
Yeah.
And or watching when I go, like even when I go I've taken her to my coworker's son's party, watching those little boys and those little girls. It's like just the fact that where I work, it's the ADHD is like 75% higher in men. There are just things.
Yeah. I think a lot of the times people would pick those similar fields.
Yeah. I think they would, and I was just listening. I was just talking to them and asking them that, and because it's like, I don't want you to think I'm trying to insult you. Yeah. Because just because I'm saying that you may not make that decision doesn't mean you can't. Yeah. It's that you chose not to. That's what I believe. Yeah. And I believe if you leave us all to
where was the insulting part?
To imply, because women tend to think that, because the jobs that they don't choose are the ones that are more like that pay more a lot of times. Yeah. Like there are not many women CEOs, and people would love to believe that is based in solely discrimination. Mm-hmm. And I would say discrimination plays probably like 5%, but it doesn't play as big a role as women believe in the reason why there aren't women CEOs. It's not about discrimination. It's about that they didn't choose it, or they didn't go. You know what I mean? And I was doing that because,
or they might not ask for something like that. I think there's like something where it says like women don't like ask like those bold demands when it comes to like a promotion. I want this.
It's a scientific personality trait. Yes, it's called agreeableness.
And I remember I had a lady manager one time, and she was saying that she was like, if she had to give girls advice, she'll be like, go for the position that you're not ready for. Yeah. She's like, I see men do it all the time. She's like, go for the position you are not ready for.
Yes, it's because if you buy a blue bike, you're gonna pay less than if you
buy a
pink
all the
bike.
time. I'll be like, yo, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but
it's because they are like, it's funny because like the more it's weird because the more you try to categorize people, the more they try to fight to all be different, and people are not as different as we seem to think. Yeah. Like we are very easily categorizable. It's proven by the fact that they can collect data on us just from what we watch on YouTube and so accurately portray what
they could put you in a room of like-minded people just off of
just
that.
based off that. Like, it's so funny to me that like they'll play a video for me. Like you might suggest a video for me. I'm like, oh, you're right.
Word.
I will fucking like this. Is this another Steven Seagal story? I love these shits. They know, and it's because we're not as special and unpredictable as we all seem to think. And and it's not something that's wrong. It's just like the moment you know your positioning and your footing, then you know where you can go. Yeah. And it's like I don't know. Like it's like so. Whenever I tell people like, okay, well, men do things. It's like there are not many facts anymore. I don't know if you noticed that. Like most things are theories or general consensus. Yeah. So it's like a lot of women will fight for the 14%, and I'm like, yeah, but there's 86%.
I mean, nigga, it's because sometimes that stuff comes off a little bit condescending. That conversation. I watch a lot of these people, and I agree with a lot of what they're saying, but this percent, it's kind of a thing that makes people feel like, all right, so should I not even fucking try? You know?
Yeah.
And that's the part where it's like, all right, if we start just jamming those stats into people's heads anymore, a lot of people wouldn't try to be out the box, hence we would lose a lot of like valuable things.
But the question is this: why would your mind go, whenever a man is faced with a task, we find a way to either do it or not do it. Yeah. Why would your mind go first with, I can't do it then, because I won't. Yeah. I didn't say you can't. And that's my point. You know what I mean? Exactly.
The condescending in the conversation.
You know what I don't like about that conversation though? I agree with you. There is, when I watch these shows, you know, the Kevin Samuels and all these different guys that are doing it now, I'm a big fan. I don't know if anybody knows.
I think everybody knows.
I'm sorry, guys. He is the godfather as far as I'm concerned. There will be no Kevin Samuels slander on my show.
Reggie's pops.
I'm telling you, he's the godfather. He's laying down game. I like it. And the reason why I like draw to it is because I draw to it, but it's the thing I don't like about it is there's an aspect of it that is entertainment, and we're not considering
of course.
It's like that part is the part that I'm going to be honest, I could do away with.
And I told you that. I'm like, yo, this man says a lot of, like, he says some valuable stuff, but it's the part that, you know, you just offended. I'm like, this is where you lose people in your messaging right then and there.
Well, it's funny because it's like before he was doing that, he didn't have the following. Yeah. He was talking to men before this. And now he said he was doing it for years and nobody was listening.
And I heard him say that, and I hope like he's able to kind of grow from that. And, you know, it's like a similar thing to like Charlemagne. You know, Charlemagne, he came out and everything he was just firing off at people. And then eventually he was like, I can't keep on this path because it's gonna backfire at you at some point, you know.
Well, okay, so there's and another guy. So these are my two favorite people in the world, I'd say, is Jordan Peterson,
the man that makes white people feel like racism is fine.
No. I mean, I've listened to what he said. He's never said that, but he doesn't make excuses for men. He doesn't make excuses for people. He goes, this is the emphatical evidence. This is what exists. That's all there is. I can't tell you how you can choose to perceive it, but this is what it is, and these things indicate you should either do this or you should either do that. You choose to do what you want to do. And he was the first person that ever instilled in my head that it is up to me. I have to get up and clean my own room. I have to stand up and have there's not nobody coming to help me. Because unfortunately, as a millennial, I thought, yo, my mother is going to help me up with a job, or everybody had an uncle or a hookup. I always thought somebody was going to give me a job, I'll be fine. My mother got something, or my dad got, everybody hooked me up. And then I got out and that's not what happened.
You got to do your own thing.
And I was in complete disarray. I was not, and it wasn't nobody's fault. It wasn't nobody's fault. There was a lack of guidance because they didn't know. They were treading the terrain just like I was.
People love like a blame game. You know? People love a blame game. People love to put stuff on people. People love to be like self-righteous, all of that point. And I'm just like, honest, like I was having a conversation with my boy this past weekend about like, you know, the black community and like what, and I'm just like, honestly, to me, we need to make things as simple as possible. Like all this overcomplicating of anything that somebody does that you don't do, you start pointing fingers, calling somebody a cool.
Too much.
I'm like, that is too much. Everybody is different. So you have to, what is the goal? Like I was telling him, I'm like, a goal and what I believe in, build your community, build your schools. Everybody, however you get money, whether it's a business, a job, build that, put into your community. Let that money that you're making revolve within that community several times. Who gives a fuck what else anybody is doing?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to believe in Jesus, Allah, and
whatever,
do the
just
fuck
make
what
sure
you want,
yo,
just to be in that community.
But
niggas love being fucking self-righteous. You do this, you're cool. You do this, I'm just like, yo.
Well, that's the problem. No. The problem is this.
Chill,
I think that the problem is this is why I like Kevin Samuels' message. Because what Kevin Samuels' message is there's got to be a code. Yeah. The dating world is kind of going any direction it wants. Yeah. You could be a girl, you could be a boy, you could be you could love this, you could love that, love anything you want, and no more gender roles. And I get it. It's you're allowed.
Not too many people don't fuck with those.
No, but they but they fuck with the parts that they want to when they can.
So that means you fuck with gender roles.
Yes, but what I'm saying to you is a lot of men and women do this. Mm-hmm. They fuck with parts that they wanna fuck with when you can, and when it benefits you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, if you're gonna take the good side, you gotta take the L's. And I feel like men and women are doing that. It's not just.
I'm a believer of that. If you want some kind of old schoolness from your woman, you gotta have some old schoolness as a
to
man.
Give back.
Like,
men cannot be asking to be treated like kings and not bringing nothing to the table any more than women should be. Not give it, like, if you're not taking care of me, why should I be treating you like this? I understand those concepts.
You can't ask your woman to be submissive, but then you're not a leader.
Yeah,
like, that is.
And you know what I realized?
You about to run into the fucking ground.
You know what I realized about myself was that I was perusing through life on charisma and not a plan, and that is not a man. Yeah. And I realized that about myself. Mm-hmm. Like I was moving around like I was cute. You know what I mean? I was kind of fly. I could talk. I was well spoken. I knew people from the street, and I also was in the corporate world. So I had a little, I could code switch. And I used that to kind of get around. And I realized, like, that helps. Being likable is a good thing.
Good quality.
It's a good quality, but it cannot be.
It's not a direction.
It's not a determining factor as to success. I realized the determining factor as to success is intelligence. In my opinion, that's the biggest determining factor.
Intelligence and having an actual plan that you're putting action.
Well, that's
to.
intelligence. The intelligence is all of that. It encompasses that. And so what happened for me was I was like, I need a plan. Yeah. So I said, but I was so I didn't know I didn't know which way was up. And then I just started going, I got to get organized in my life. Mm-hmm. Like I literally cleaned my room one day because somebody told me my room was dirty and they didn't like it. Yeah. And they were ridiculous. And I was just like, so I cleaned my room. And I remember my room has not been dirty since. Yeah. Because it was like, now I know where everything goes. Yeah. There's a process. It's not because I used to throw stuff because I didn't know where this really went. It kind of just went in the closet somewhere. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, now I got a drawer for it.
You realize when you put it together, like I have way more space than I actually thought I had. Where you just putting things all over.
I found this Gucci shirt. Holy shit. I thought I lost this. Remember those chicks you thought locked out with it? It was right there the whole time. Yeah, and man. These things, just little shit, like literally my room. Yeah. It was like, I feel better. I want to buy candles.
Like me, I feel like I'm so fucking lazy. Like when it like procrastination lazy wise. But because of that, I make sure I like have a disciplined schedule. Wake up at this time, work out at this time, do work at this time. Like I have to do that unless ain't shit getting done. Bro. I can't just be like, I'm a kill. I did that. Like high school, I never studied my whole. I just wigged all of high school.
Me too.
And then I went to college, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Y'all not joking? This not for play?
I always tell people like my first time really studying was when I was in college. Nobody was ever gonna make me. I'm like, I can pass this, whatever.
Yeah, I got this. It ain't
85, shit. Whatever. Like
even if it's a 75,
man,
so
exactly. Like I still pass. Exactly. But yeah, man, you as a dude, you have to put that pressure on yourself. To be disciplined, to be a leader,
I stopped
to have that kind of plan. And I think sometimes people with the plan becomes very discouraged to people because for some reason people are so like, and I realize I noticed it from like women a lot when I talk to them. If their plan kind of like goes a little bit off, they get like a lot of them get thrown off. I'm like, you got to stop being married to this idea of perfection. I've created a 5 to 10 year plan. That shit might go 15.
Exactly.
Because life is gonna fucking happen. That's part. Like you have to always add that equation to whatever plan life happening.
You have to consider the fact that if this doesn't go this way, another thing is life is about probabilities. Yeah. Okay, this is my plan, and this is the best probability I'll have a successful plan. There could be 3 other plans, right? I could be an NBA star, but probably fucking not. So I'm gonna go with this plan where I do whatever, I talk, right? And then you look at the things that you're good at and you just try to utilize them as best you can towards your plan. But you have to be honest with yourself. That was another thing I wasn't being. I was telling myself, oh, I'm working as hard as anybody else. I fucking wasn't. I was not. I was playing around. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I was joking. I was out here. I was dating way more than I was actually saving my money.
Getting your life together.
There was a lot. There's so much money that I think about. I must have spent.
I believe, dude,
$400 on dates a week.
Dude should, unless you're in a certain place, you should not be dating as a man. Maybe when you're like 22, if you want to be immature, there's certain ages where you can.
Well, it don't matter because nobody got an understanding of money yet at that point. So fine.
And there's certain ages where you're also allowed, even if you have it, you're allowed to be immature.
Yeah, to be immature at that time. Yeah.
If you blow something at 21 years old, people gonna be way more understanding than if you fucking 35-year-old and when you blow your all your money on Rolexes and cocaine.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. I'm
sorry.
Not
gonna get that dumb excuse no more.
I've told certain kids straight to, I'm like, listen, you are almost in your best interest to fuck up now, because at least they're gonna be lenient on you now. I hope you don't have to do that, but if you have to do that, do it at 18, do it at 17, do it right now, because at 23 they don't give a shit. You're now an adult, you get hit with the book. I'm like, stop doing that dumb shit later on in life, because you people are ruining your later lives. You gotta have time to reset,
because now you gotta recoup.
Yeah,
when,
you know what I mean.
And the shit should be added on at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And there was something I wanted to say about like the way, like when I listened to the show, when I listened to Kevin Samuels and those gentlemen, and the thing I don't like about, not the show, fuck the show, it's really the conversation. The thing I don't like about the conversation is, you're right, it has a condescending tone. And the problem with the tone is that I don't want to feel like I don't need women. That's where it's coming to. And I don't want to do that.
Sometimes,
because I still love them very much.
Sometimes it comes off a little bit too old school. And the thing is, he's saying things, right? But he's also talking for like the 1% guy, and every guy be like, yes, yeah. I'm like, bruh, you don't qualify to have this.
See, okay, you got that message.
You don't qualify to have this point of view, right?
Wait, you got that wrong, but that was funny. No, I hate you, bro.
Like,
I hate you.
He ain't talking to you.
I'm about to say, brokies, broke boys.
Bro,
no, but
you out here smoking weed on the corner all day,
talking about high value men.
Get the fuck out of here. He's not talking to you.
That happens, but not the way you think. So he talks to those men, the men that are not making the most.
I'm just reading the comments. That's all I'm getting.
No, I'm about to say, because what happens is that's what you're doing is what a lot of women do, and then they watch the clickbait, and then they get mad at the clips, because the clips are always going to be the entertaining parts.
Now I've watched his whole.
But then when you watch the whole show, right, the message is always either do what you got to do to get those men at that level, or start getting your mind acclimated to the fact that these guys at this level aren't so bad. And that's what he's saying. And I agree with that message.
And you can't just have that, well, he's gonna do this all the time, and I'm gonna do, like, chicks with, like when Liz was here and we was talking about I forgot what she said, where she was like, oh, she said something about like keeping the dude's money, and then like always on keeping her. But I said, yo, are you dead ass right now?
Well, I mean, the thing is, when you look at her, you can see what her options are, or like you can see why.
That perspective is not like a reality for like a lot of you. Most people have to compromise if they want that happy, healthy relationship that they quote unquote want to.
It's not even that. And he said there's a lot of things that people say. Like, it's like most people just want this. Happiness is a momentary emotion. It is not something that is gonna elongate over the course of your life forever. You have to start, what can you tangibly get and what actually makes you happy? Because a lot of women want, like, say like, oh, I could be a finance engineer. Those men work 80 hours a week. Not even many men want that job. So
you gotta think about time with your kids.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I decided to go down an industry or down a path that I was like, I actually value my time with my family and my ability and my kids. I thought, because I'm like, I'm not at the age where I'm willing to give 80 hours a week to one thing right now
That's
anymore.
something I know. I'm like, I'll figure out a way to get the rest of it.
I'm not doing that.
A week.
And
like,
at
I'm
one
good.
spot, like
I'm good.
even when I was doing it, I was miserable. But there were men that were doing it, and every day they woke up and they were focused.
And when you live that kind of life, a lot of those people have a plan. I'm gonna do this for 3 years.
Yes.
I'm gonna cash out, and then I'm gonna go do something a little. You're not like, oh, I'm just doing this every day. I might do this for 15. I might do it for 5. I don't know.
And this is the thing that I want to explain about the whole high value men thing, because you said that there's a lot of men that are saying they're the high value men that he's saying, but they're not. And I don't think it's the ones that are broke. Well, some of them too, but the ones that worry me are the ones that have money but aren't high value. Because the problem is, what you want is a competent man. And the thing about competent men is, wherever you put them, they will do well for whatever situations or opportunities they have around them. So maybe you put them in...
You could adapt.
Exactly. Maybe you put them in a pizza store, and they'll be good there, but they're going to be the manager by 5 years.
He'll figure out how does this business work.
Exactly. And there's men that you want competence. And usually competence comes with money. Or at least it's not too far away. And the problem is, women are too busy looking for the money and forgetting, like, what you actually want, the trait you're looking for is competence. You want the man to be able to... There's men that he'll make 60,000 and you'll make 120,000, and he'll make your 120,000 work better than you can.
Of course.
And it's not because he's a better man. He is competent. You want someone that can do something. They say what they're going to do and then go do it. Actionable plans that they can get done.
Somebody that moves in a debt to income ratio.
Yeah, like,
you can't make $1 million and spend 175,000. You know.
Yes.
Like, you can't. I mean, 750,000.
Yes.
You that means you're not a millionaire.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But if you make 100K, but your liabilities is $20,000, you can make that money work for you at that point.
Exactly. Like, that's why when these rappers are on tour flashing that money, I'm like, guys, half of that is not yours. Please do not buy that chain.
This is
sir.
the one thing I'll give them.
Please do not buy that chain.
In real life, when they be trying to like get real shit for free, like in Saxon, I'm like, I'm not
I
mad at
respect
you
that.
because y'all have to spend so much fucking money. So when there is a time you can get something for free, I understand.
Lil Baby, when he was first on, he was on the pull up with Joe Budden. He had all this jewelry. He said, "Man, this shit cheap as hell, dog. All this all together cost 25,000. My boy got 100,000 just one." And I'm sitting there like, at least
that's how you do it.
That's smart. But and I feel like this, like if you take NBA YoungBoy probably makes like 10 million a year, bro. But that man will never be okay. He is, no matter how much money he has, he's not right.
And was his debt with all his court cases and kids.
Even if he has 100 million in the bank just sitting chilling, he's still not okay within himself. Something's off, something's wrong. And it's like we gotta stop looking at men that are talented and saying they're competent. Because sometimes you just happen to be so good at that one thing and landed in that one spot.
Kanye West.
It worked out. You put Kanye West anywhere else, he is fucking his life up.
If it's not a creative
space. And now we are mistaking those men for competent men. I'm saying,
but that's because we value that. Like, we value the celebrity. We value the ignorance. Who's driving the 2021 Beamer and all of that.
I'm all for that, but that's not the norm. Nor is that something that I want to. It's not a good business model to follow.
At all.
Because not many people can do it.
At all.
Like, it's like whenever people say, like, I'm going to make, like, don't follow Drake's business plan. That man never missed. He had like 22 hits in a row. He's not a good business model to follow because you don't know. You got to account for the fact that your third single might be trash.
And he's an anomaly.
He's an anomaly. He's not the norm.
That, you're like, all right, what are those people? What are the people that kind of just rise their value up? What do they do on a daily? Incrementally.
Exactly. It's like, it's not like you know what I mean? So I want people to stop mistaking talent for being a person of value, because sometimes you just you were in the right place, the right time, iron struck.
The only reason I say it, because I be seeing dudes because I be in that chat. And I'm like, y'all niggas, some of these girls, y'all will fucking do anything to go on a date with them. But y'all want to talk crazy in a fucking chat. And that's the part where I'm like...
Well, that's the thing about those...
There's too many of you simp niggas that's just probably mad that you got curved.
But that's the thing. That's the thing about those... That's the thing about those guys is like, it's the same thing that happened to Jordan Peterson. when Jordan Peterson came out, he had a major debate with this a known feminist. She was the head of like some journal. She was a journalist, and at some point in the conversation, she said, "Why does your right to speak? Why does your right to speak trump my right to be offended?" And he said, "Because to think is to risk offense."
Yeah.
He was like, look at what you're doing right now. He was like, "You're prying." He's like, you're going really hard in trying to figure out what's going on with me. He's like, and I don't like it. He's like, I don't like it. It's rather uncomfortable. And he stopped there and looked at her. And then she was like, right. And he was like, you see, you're willing to risk offending me to try to put something on me that I don't actually believe. You're trying to get me to say something I don't believe, but you're just digging to figure out what's going on. Yeah. You're an interviewer. But you can offend me doing that because you've actually been kind of abrasive. Yeah. And he was like, but you did that, right? And that's why shouldn't you? And then he said, and then when she said, oh, wow, it kind of, she realized what happened. And she was like, yeah, he was like, ha, gotcha. Yeah. And she said, you have got me. And I watched an interview after of him recanting that whole situation. And I think this is where Kevin Samuels goes wrong sometimes. Is because Jordan Peterson said, I wish I hadn't said gotcha. Because when I said gotcha in that moment, it made it about winning. Yeah. And I wanted it to be about, can we stop and actually have this conversation now? Because what you've been trying to do is put things on me that your side believes I believe. Yeah. And what I'm trying to do is tell you what I believe. But you're not listening for that. You're listening for something else. Yeah. And he's saying you've been doing this the whole conversation. But in that moment, I finally got through to you in a way where you're like, wow, I didn't consider that. I should have optimized that situation and been like, no, let me not kill this now. Yeah. Now that you see it from this perspective, can we take this moment and learn instead of continuing to fight sides? And I think that's where Kevin Samuels falls short.
And that's usually my mentality. Yep. I hate getting into conversations where it's like a 10%. Once I see that, I'm like, I'm done here.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not trying to understand me. So this is a fair, unfair conversation going on right now.
Yo, if you're saying black and I'm saying white, we're never going to meet in the middle. It's no parallel. So it's one of those things that I admire, but I just got to be careful because
he's no specialist. I actually thought he was like a specialist before, but he's somebody who he kind of just values his opinion, and he has an opinion, and hopefully he learns in the process of doing it.
The thing is, his opinion is based on such concrete. Because the best thing you could do for a person, which is what I try to do all the time as like a podcast, just as a talker, is word things in a way that when someone says something that you've always known and you've always felt, but you could never for some reason or another articulate. Yeah. You didn't have the words or the analysis to put it together and go, that is true. There's so many things that he said that I was like, yo, you know how many dates I've been on where I'm sitting with a girl, I'm from like 90s projects. I just picked you up from the projects. And I'm working to get my bachelor's, I'm doing all this stuff. And because you're pretty, you're sitting there looking at me like I ain't nobody. Like it's almost as if I'm not on the other end of this table. It's like drawing blood to get you to talk from a rock. Like I'm trying to talk. You know how many times that's happened to me? And I'm sitting there going, why do I have this underwhelming feeling like in a few years this bitch won't be able to hold my jockstrap? But she's looking down on me right now. Yeah. And that transferred with me because there's a level of anger I had when I got to my late 20s that I couldn't admit to. I was too proud to admit, but I was pissed at women. Yeah. And sometimes I still am. And I was pissed because I felt like y'all were like snobby. I couldn't get the women I wanted. Yeah. And then the women I wanted were like getting guys that I felt like weren't worth it. I'm like, I guess. And the ball wasn't coming back down for a minute. And now I got, I got to my 33rd, year in life. And things are like slowly.
The roles have reversed.
It's slowly coming around.
But that I like when because what they are doing is they're playing the card of the card that they have. Yeah. I'm the hot one right now. I'm young, I'm popping, I'm everything. Yeah. And as a dude, you got to accept that. So when it does reverse, you have to accept that as a woman too. In that older age of life when that guy is like, I'm kind of lit now, so I'm not gonna,
I'm not gonna settle.
I did that already. You wasn't with
and
it.
You wasn't, I think we all had a little simping situation at some point.
I did
We all
that
did
already.
that.
You wasn't
You
with
wasn't
it.
with
you
it.
know?
So now I got more and I have leverage.
And I'm not saying that a man shouldn't be a bit, but there has to be this a little bit more of humbleness on like a lot of like the female.
You know what the word you're looking for is, Obi? Grace.
Yeah.
That's the word we've lost.
It gotta be.
We've lost, and on both sides.
Yeah.
Because men now have money. I understand completely why rappers, when they get rich, treat bitches terrible or call them bitches to begin with. I understand why they do that.
Most of them never got them girls before that.
They could not.
They know
And
that.
the thing was, there's nothing. We don't look at anyone lower than a rapper that hasn't made it.
Yeah.
Even podcasters.
What?
Even podcasters are looked at better than that.
Anybody.
Anybody
You
is
just
better.
don't want to hear that you're a rapper.
If you and so then when you become that rapper, that level of you lack grace.
And if you're a rapper and you not big, your bars better be fire.
Bro, son, I need heat.
Cause you can at least hang your hat on that.
Bro, have some respect for yourself. Cause it's the worst when you whack and you whack. How you double whack?
But then bad whack people make it. So it's
yeah,
like you like I kinda this nigga, how could he not believe he gonna make it?
It's possible. You know what I mean? Lil Flacco.
Yo.
But it's like, so it's, I understand their anger because I felt it in a way.
Yeah.
And there was no outlet for me to say it.
Yeah.
So it kind of just stays in there and you kind of just harbor a small, like, it's like you grow up harboring a small bit of hate for women that you didn't even realize you had.
Should we leave double standards in the world, or should we get rid of them?
Well, it depends what you want to do. If you want to keep double standards, if you want to leave double standards in the past, right? You want to prepare for what seemingly is going to be probably a lonely life. I feel like the problem is double standards are created by things that almost seem they're like biological markers.
Yeah.
It's not even things we can really fix.
I'm
the
pro double standards.
The double standards that exist in nature, in the nature of being a man and being a woman.
And I think double standards sometimes has like this negative connotation, like women are supposed to remain in the kitchen. You don't speak like nah. That's
nah.
Because once you start having that conversation, people will be like double standards. I'm like, yes, because if it's something that's against me and it benefits you're gonna be pro that.
Like exactly.
You're gonna be pro that.
And you know what? And the thing is, it is in humans' nature to leverage. To not want to leverage the
shit that benefits
them. So you're not gonna want to give up the benefits that you have, and that's in whether you're black, white, Spanish, man, woman. You have certain benefits, but you have to be reasonable. You got to sacrifice something. You can't have it all, and I think that's the issue that people have with the concept of like, if we say Me Too or feminism, is that it seems like a very have it all fight. It's like we have to be nice,
and you can't. And with that, like, you can't just come to like conclusions from like jump. This happened, so you're wrong for even saying let's listen to him. Like, no, the fuck I'm not. Like, to me, that's usually the part I usually have with those conversations where you try to silence people that like I kind of want to hear like
what you have to say.
Like, this house burnt down. What happened? What caused the fire? Did they have some fucked up electrical work?
You know what I've noticed about the smartest people I watch? All the academics and all the smartest people I watch, I've noticed that when the beginning of almost all of their conversations, they ask
questions.
An unlimited amount of questions.
You ask questions.
And it's just like, because it's like, first, it's two things you're doing. When you ask questions, you're trying to understand their argument. And then when you ask questions, you get them to hear their own argument when you know it's ridiculous. So if you've had this conversation before, sometimes I'll just ask you certain questions and go, so what do you think about this? And let you kind of piece together I'm asking you these questions to see how because sometimes what people have to do is go, how do I really feel about this? Like, what do I really think? And then you ask those questions. But a lot of times people go, no, you don't get to talk. You don't get to say anything because this isn't your argument.
I think that's like the biggest, I mean, it has this wave and then people stop taking it serious because that's not a real way. Everybody is not going to fall in line with that mentality for every situation. they might agree if it's like somebody that everybody don't fuck with,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But if it's somebody that everybody like,
Yo,
gotta fuck with that nigga, man.
Right, exactly. I'm kind of cool with that nigga. I got it.
I don't know about
He a dick, but he cool as hell.
yeah, man. So,
But, so I had somebody bring this question up to me, and I thought about it, and I want you to hear my take. Somebody asked me, what have I ever considered being like polyamorous?
mm-hmm.
Which the concept of polyamory, if I'm not mistaken, is to like you don't date one person, you date multiple.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you could have like maybe you want sex from this girl, you want to build finances with this girl. This girl's really emotional, so you could deal with emotions.
It's like this open relationship.
Where everybody gives everybody something because not everybody has everything everybody wants.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Probably, it's a good theory. I think it's probably one of the hardest lives to live. I'm never gonna lie.
I think it is a suboptimal solution. I think that is a very selfish way to live. And this is coming from a former slut. So keep this in mind. I was very good with sleeping with multiple women. But the thing I realized as I got older is that what we're trying to do is we're trying to ice skate uphill all day. And we're always trying to, what is the easiest way to get happiness? Because the goal is happiness. But then it's like, what about your kids then? How do you build when you guys have that many different people giving that many different concepts and that many different understandings and so now who watches the kids? How do you build generational wealth?
Plus people, like that conversation comes up, and to me these niggas like somebody's gonna end up being jealous. That's the part where I'm like, it sounds good in theory, but at some point jealousy will rule. What if your girl start fucking with this other nigga just more than you? Like, there's gonna be at some point like it's too much of a perfect situation in the head for me to be like, and
the thing is, it came off to me as like, so you can't stand and communicate and sacrifice with one person ever?
Word.
So you're trying to tell me what you want to do is go, I can't get it from here, fuck it, I'm gonna go over there.
And
that makes me feel so, like, it's so immature in mindset to me.
And when do you break up with like somebody? Like when do y'all like hold on to each other forever?
Bruh.
Or you just keep adding to that list?
I don't,
or you know, cause shit, if I don't gotta see you for 2 months, I might be like, all right, cool,
I'm gonna do my thing. Like, it's like, cause then every circle has different rules, and every rule, like, it becomes too much. And my thing is, we're drawing away from structure because we're trying to look for individual pleasures. Yeah. And I'm saying that I think that is a suboptimal solution for long-term success. Because I honestly, it sounds terrible to say this, but I don't care for the word happiness anymore. I now want to be progressive. I don't want to be happy. I want to be productive. And I want to be successful. And then that will build my happiness as I have experiences being a successful person. And then I would just this concept of being like happy is such a thing now that everybody's like, maybe if I wear this hat, I'll be happy. Maybe if I look this way, I'll be happy.
I aim to be happy, but I'm a very realistic person in my happiness. Like, okay, what are the things I need in life to be good? I don't need to be happy in every single that's not real. We're always gonna go through stuff, whether it's fucking Jeff Bezos or the poorest dude on the block. I'm sure they woke up with something bothering them on their mind. So happiness, you create that for yourself. But you know, how are you happy? You're happy when you put your mind in a better place. You work out. You know, you exercise.
Like the experiences you have right. as
you get a promotion, and you know, I'm working hard.
Because what I started realizing was I cared for my day-to-day life more than I cared for the giant parties I had blasts at. Because I used to want to, my life, like the moments you never forget. What was it? The moments. What's the Drake line? The Drake line, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those moments. Now, that's a very 25-year-old way to think. Yeah. Because now I live every day for every single day to be a little more comfortable. Yeah. So every day to be a little better so that I don't have to live for Saturday night anymore. That's what I want. And I feel like everyone wants the fast ride out. Yeah. And like I had a friend of mine come to me and ask me, this girl I know, she asked me, she said, what do I do? You know, I want to like she didn't want to talk to her baby daddy anymore, and she was just kind of like, yo, like you know what?
Date him?
Yeah, she didn't want to date him, but the thing was, she is in her 30s now, and she didn't want to date this fellow. So now she's like, I want to, you know what I mean? What do I do? Because she's gonna keep going back to him if she gets out there and it doesn't work out. and she's not in the best shape.
Why she's not a strong person to not keep going back to?
Well, that would be nice, right? But the reality is she wants to be with someone, and he's the one here. And so it's like, I'm like,
that sounds like a miserable life.
Exactly, I agree. But that's what tends to happen. You got to go with what is going to actually happen. So to me, I told her, I was like, she was like, she was interested in getting her body done. I said, then you should do it. She was like, why? I was like, because the way the dating realm is right now, you're not going to get out there like that and get the attention you want for the way you want it. That's going to stop you from going back to your ex. That's definitely a bad decision. So you know this is a bad decision, but you don't have any other option, so you're going to stick with the bad decision. But what you should do is, if you go out there and if people start giving you attention, that bad decision doesn't even seem like an option anymore. But you're not going to get that because you're not going to hit the gym the way you're supposed to because you don't want to. And you actually have a good amount of money on your hands right now. I would suggest getting your body done and then getting out there. Because now, that is for outcome. I'm not saying you're going to be happy with the man you end up with. I'm not saying you're going to find him.
That was the problem. Like,
I'm not saying you're going to be happy. You might end up with a drug dealer or whatever you end up with. But you're going to end up with a man that is you're going to end up with something different than what you have now, which you know is bad. And it's like, and she's like, oh, well, why you don't think that's kind of vain? I'm like, a lot more of dating is vanity than I don't know what you want me to tell you.
A lot of things are vain.
You want shit that
people want people that they're attracted to.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then when I told a friend about that, and she was like, well, like, why is it that, you know what I mean, she had to, you know, why does she have to go out there and find somebody? I was like, she doesn't. But she wants to.
Oh, I'm about to say.
It will make her happy. She doesn't have to, but she wants to. She's like, so then what if she ends up with like a terrible guy that only uses her for money? I said, it will be better than the last situation where you end up with a guy that maybe was using you but was broke. Yeah. So it's like, for me, I think the lowest level of a man you could reach is a bum-ass nigga. Yeah. I think that if you're going to go a bum-ass dude, there's nothing you could do. They'll put one behind the ear, that dog won't hunt. Yeah. There's nothing you could do about that. If he's like guys that don't want to work, I don't get them. I don't even there are men that actually actively fight getting jobs.
And they be the ones having like the most to say.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, you have no money. You can't talk. and let me not even say you have no money. You not doing nothing to get anything. So I can't even respect you for that.
Exactly. You know? I don't understand how you get up every morning and feel like a man. When I wasn't working, I was my most depressed. Bruh. Because work gives you a purpose. Bruh. Getting up in the morning to do something gives you a purpose.
When you're not working, looking for a job should be your job. Like that should be your only job. Like, I've been unemployed. I put in 5 hours a day, like going, trying to apply for jobs, going to interviews, everything. Like, you're supposed to put all them hours where you got.
And these are the things that like I'm looking at and I'm saying like, this is what the men need to fix. Yeah. It's not. I'm not looking at women alone and being like, this what y'all got to start actually doing shit.
OD.
Like, I don't.
And that's the conversation I feel like sometimes is left off with, like, all that high value talk that I'm like, I think we need to start talking to men a lot more in that, because especially the generation Y. What is this generation?
I don't fucking know.
This younger generation, bruh, they will probably, that whole I'm not working shit, like, work for somebody
Nobody wants
else.
to work.
I'm like, all right, so brother, y'all niggas really just like being pussyless and broke.
I cannot even start the conversation with
you. You just want to watch the world
I'm telling you.
Life pass you by.
Good luck with your Pokemon cards, bro. Good luck with those. Because I don't understand, like, and it's like, that's, and this is the thing, I'm having this trouble trying to define masculinity, because I'm realizing that everything that is masculine is somehow becoming toxic. Yeah. I don't know what it is anymore.
Like what?
It's like, if you're aggressive,
like providing for your family, that's a masculine thing. That's not a toxic thing.
But then they'll make it, you provide, so therefore you believe that you are owed cooperation when you're not owed anything. It's like, yes, bitch, if I give you
owed from who?
From the person I'm providing for. But women,
that's what life is about. Reciprocation.
That's toxic, bro.
You're supposed to take everything and give nothing.
Obi, what are you talking about? Obi, you are an anti-feminist? I didn't know this. That's toxic, my nigga. You cannot pay for something and then ask for something in return.
I can't have conversations. I have those conversations, but it's gonna end really quick.
Do you get what I'm saying, though, right?
So you about to just take everything.
And I can't even tell you, shut the fuck up sometimes. I'm not saying you should say it like that, but there is a thing, like I said, grace. The women that we knew back in the days, our mothers, we had high, there was something I thought about. He's like, the fathers cheated and maybe but the mother held it down. The father held it down. You know why? Because the kids got to still watch their parents in high regard.
Word.
Now they're seeing it in real time, and they're like, everyone's shitty.
Yeah.
I remember thinking my mother was a fucking angel.
Word.
I never thought she did anything wrong. I was like, I gotta find a woman like that.
Yeah. But you know, everybody could in reality be shitty, be flawed, but you still have good values for like a community and your family and shit like that. You know, like it don't gotta be this, or there be dudes that, you know, he may be a horrible husband, but he takes care of his family. He takes good care of his kids or whatever. You know, and
you know what I think is a big thing that's happening, and this is what I say
those are two different conversations.
Yeah.
If you want to teach your man to be that, then you
could do that. Exactly.
That doesn't mean he can't learn these good qualities from that person. That man is not all bad here.
He's not all exactly like evil is not really a thing anymore, guys. There are very few evil things in people.
You can take shit from people sometimes.
Exactly. Like I feel like what's happening is that there's not really a code, and when there's not a code, there's nothing to stand back on and be like, that's wrong, that's right. So like, for instance, I don't mind if your value system is different than mine. But we have to admit, like, let's think of like OnlyFans, right? That whole OnlyFans craze. It's a terrible way. I would not want my daughter on OnlyFans.
Hell no.
And I do not believe anyone of reasonable mind would want their daughter on OnlyFans, right? But God forbid somebody say porn isn't a good life to lead. You can't say that about the sex industry because it's an industry now. And I'm like, guys,
I'm not a believer of that. Yes, you can.
But even the documentaries that come out, but Obi, that's what the other side is a fight. Even the documentaries that come out about, like, I saw a documentary about like former porn stars, and I watched it just because, not because of the sex. I would have just watched porn, but it was interesting. There's a lifestyle. But I wanted to know what got you into sucking dicks on camera forever, and vice versa. So I was watching it, and if it was 10 out of them, 9.5 of them were like, I wish I never went this way.
Of course.
They were all, and I'm like, so the people doing the best in it are also saying it's terrible, but y'all gonna tell me I can't tell you it's terrible. I'm not saying you don't have the right to do porn. And I'm not saying you don't have the right to make your money however you make your money. But the problem I'm having is, let's stop acting like it is moral.
This is
and
not
ethical.
a longevity
it's
career
not
that you're gonna have. Hopefully, I would hope you're a person that's like, I kind of don't want my kids
doing that. So to me, it's like when you can't even set the standard at this is bad. It's like, where do you? There's no floor, there's no ceiling.
Some people just like to be able to sleep at night, you know. And I don't believe in that, where you could not, because you're not gonna find too many people. That's not a huge crowd of people that are gonna say OnlyFans.
No. They're not. No,
nigga.
They're not.
I wake up every fucking day at 5 o'clock
to go to work.
Put that work in. The fuck out of here. You post one TikTok all day, make fucking twice what I made.
This nigga laid pipe one good time, made $700.
Like, yo, what?
But my thing is just like, it's also the fact that now that it's so easily accessible to other people are gonna start fucking their lives up, trying to chase a dream that now y'all about to find out y'all pussy's not. It's not like these rappers. Like, you see them low budget rappers. Some of them thought they were gonna make it.
And the one hit the lick you might get might just be $6,000.
Exactly, the one time. So it's like, how much did you really need this?
Word.
So to me, I just feel like we gotta at least be able to say, at least this is not good.
Word. And that doesn't mean, like, because sometimes I feel like these conversations get conjoined, like, oh, you're pro assault. And I'm like, that doesn't mean men say, yo, dude should assault and do anything to women. But nah, you should not sell your body on like camera and like be prideful and brag about it and try to encourage other young people to do that.
There are some people that I blatantly admit that your life went in a direction that you could not do anything but this. So I do understand how you ended up here. I get it, and you got to do whatever you got to do to get out. I get that. But let's not make it seem like it's okay. It wasn't a good thing. This was a lack of options. It shouldn't have been a choice.
As you see, whenever a lot of these people come from the streets and they become millionaires, their kids still go to school to become lawyers.
Because they know that life.
Like, I would rather my kids.
The quality of life sucks. Even if you're a drug dealer making $3 million a year, you got to hang in a crack house quite often. You got to see fiends. I don't want to see that shit.
Even if you was a rapper, I had to roll with too many hood niggas with guns.
I'm good.
I don't want my kid doing this.
I don't want to do that. It was a very dangerous, you know. So these are I just think that we need to start. It's funny because I'm such a liberal in general.
We need to build community back.
Yes.
In like a realistic way.
Yes.
We don't have to demonize everything old school, and there's also new school shit that we could implement in that because we're a lot smarter in today's world too. But a lot of things had value when it comes to like, just family and community.
I agree. Like we there's got to be some core morals and values now, because now everything's a go. There's no
everything is fair game.
Everything's fair game. Everything's good, and it's just like, listen, man, I don't agree. But it's coming. Yo, just at the end, my first hiccup came back. Yes.
Nigga gotta go get your Tums, bro.
Yo, I hate that, bro. 33 sucks.
Nigga go muscle his way through heartburn.
Hell yeah. Yo, bro, I woke up with 2 completely symmetrical cuts on my cheeks, bro. I don't know. It's like a sword. A sword just crossed just over, but it missed my nose.
Yo, what?
I was like, is this a...
That's 33.
It's like a rug burn. It looks like I caught like a body or something, and I got a little teardrop.
Yo.
It looks kind of cool, actually.
I see it.
You see it, right?
Oh, I see
both of them. Who does this? Bro.
Ah, man.
But either way, man.
Like, subscribe,
please
share, smash that like button.
And we out.
Out of here.